Good evening, folks, and welcome to another episode of Busting Fair. We got started a little late tonight. This is a live internet broadcast, and sometimes there are just technical difficulties that we have to work through. I hope your St. Patrick's Day celebration was wonderful and that everyone is healthy and fine. Tonight, first reminder, this is a live call-in talk show. And I need the phone, sorry about that. So you can still call and they'll find the phone. The phone number is 360-693-7544, 360-693-7544. And Dixie is having her guest, R.J. Anthony, on again, and he wrote this book, Memoirs of My Lives, and he's going to share a little bit more in depth. And especially Dixie is very interested in three of those lives that RJ wrote about in her book. And then Tim, if you remember from last week, he got got into a great discussion. Adrian was inspired to come up and we had a little chat after. And Tim has done some research on aluminum, which is in just about everything. And so we'll have him come on after Dixie and RJ share some more information. So Dixie, would you like to take it away?
Sure. And I'd like to say that I have a picture of Devil's Tower in Wyoming because the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind was filmed there. And I should have mentioned that when we were talking about messages from movies, that yes. It was such an important movie for me. And I'm very interested in UFOs and extraterrestrial civilizations. And RJ has in the book, Memoirs of My Lives, he has 3 lifetimes where he was an extraterrestrial or in other star systems in our galaxy.
Oh, the book's down.
Okay. So I'm going to start asking some questions, and the first one is, of the many lives in your book, 3 chapters are devoted to extraterrestrial lives. Are these past or future lives?
You know, that's something I've been asking for a long time. When I first started getting a lot of this information, I was really curious about that because it seems like anything that's sort of extraterrestrial seems futuristic, so that seems like it should be in the ahead of me. But as I remembered these various past lives, they really feel like the other ones that I've already lived through. So unless I'm missing some subtle, mental thing, then they feel like there's something I've already lived through.
Okay.
Have you met other people that have had similar experiences?
Yes, I have, and I'm always curious to meet more people too. So. If anybody wants to contact me and share their stories, I'm always glad to hear it.
Which, by the way, we will be attending the McMinnville UFO Festival in May.
Sorry about that.
And they have a parade, they have costume parties, they have even pet costume parties, they have films, they have speakers, and so I would recommend that you might want to check out on the internet, UFO Festival or Fest, McMinnville, Oregon. Anyway, okay, so, and in that way, you might meet other people that have had those experiences. In the chapter titled Pleiadian Connections, which, by the way, there is a star system or anyway, that's called the Pleiades. And anyway, in the chapter titled Pleiadian Connections, you write about your life in the Pleiades star cluster. What do you remember about their civilizations?
From the memories that I have, they're a very large spacefaring civilization. They colonized that area thousands of years ago. I can even remember, hundreds of worlds, moons, outposts, space stations, all kinds of places where they have a presence. They work with not just their own people, but with other humanoid races and other races as well.
Are you familiar with the Billy Meyer
Yes.
case with the interaction with the beam ships?
And Semyonsi,
And Semyonsi, yes. Do you have any thoughts about that you would like to share? Or?
I've always thought that case is really interesting. Yeah, I've read a whole bunch about it, and the contact notes are great.
They are.
Yeah,
Have you read? It's like an encyclopedia.
Yeah, I've read both the volumes of Messages from the Pleiades, and I thought Wendell Stevens and his group did a really great investigation.
One time we were at the International UFO Congress, and unfortunately, I did not know who Wendell Stevens was.
Mm-hmm.
And we were set up with our booth with the biomats, and people would come on, get the biomat, get a session on the biomat, and feel better. And then next to us was this fellow, and on this table he had a bunch of these books. It was Colonel Wendell Stevens, and I didn't even know it. Then when Michael found out it was Colonel Wendell Stevens, they had to have some chats.
Oh, yeah.
So we're there for
How
about
could
5
you
days.
not?
Yeah, we're there for about 5 days at the UFO Congress, and you get to interact with some of the most wonderful people on
Yeah.
the planet. They are so sweet. They are so nice, and it's like family. And hopefully, Dixie, you'll go next year.
Now, that was the one in Phoenix. That's where they
Yes.
hold it now,
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Fountain Hills.
Fountain Hills,
Fountain Hills.
in Arizona,
Yes.
for anyone that's not
Yeah.
familiar. Okay, what was your job there as far as in the Pleiades?
I was a sociologist. I worked with developing cultures. Two different ways of a culture can really develop whether they need outside help, and that's a culture that's brand new and they've developed to the technological and spiritual point where they, are ready to go out into the cosmos with the rest of the galactic family. There's also civilizations can de-evolve. Many reasons that can happen. I mean, for one, you can build such great technology that it hardly ever needs to be repaired or maintained, and then generations can go by, and then if they don't keep up their education, they won't know how to fix things. That's a way that they could ask for help too, because they just have fallen, behind a little bit. So there's a lot of different ways a culture can look for outside help.
Wow.
Are you saying the Pleiadians are kind of like emissaries to help cultures interact?
They do a great deal, both with human and non-humanoid races, yeah.
Then that was my next question. Did you work with non-human races as well?
I feel like I did a little bit, but not too much. I think I mostly worked with the humanoid races. But there are others, and when they work with people, they do it in teams. It's not just one individual here and another individual there. It's teams that go to various places.
Okay. And where did you live?
I moved around a lot. It really depended upon where I was assigned. I would tend to go to a civilization and work with them and spend years until I was no longer needed, or they were on their own and doing their own thing, and then I would move on to the next one. But mainly, I would just live where I was working.
Out of curiosity, about how long in human years do the Pleiadians live?
They live about 10 times longer than we do. So for us to reach 100 years is about the same as them reaching about 1,000.
Okay. All right. What kind of family did you have there when you were the sociologist?
I had a mom and dad, and I feel like I was an only child. In fact, I think that it was, I get a real strong feeling that it's not uncommon for them to have a child, raise it to adulthood before they would even consider having another one. Now, I'm not saying that that's exclusively the way they do it, but I feel like that was the case with me, that I got all the attention, and then when I was done, they moved on and did other things, as did I.
Okay. When you were a Pleiadian, did you visit Earth?
Yes, I did, and it was a very interesting assignment, and I wrote about it extensively in the book. So I would recommend that you get a copy and read it. It's pretty good.
And the title is Memoirs of My Lives by R.J. Anthony. Okay, now in the chapter titled Disembodied Incarnation, you write about living as an energy being. Tell us about this existence.
You know, that's one of the lives that I've been getting memories back since I was a child. And when I was little and learning about God and heaven and all that kind of stuff, the memories that I have and the visions that I have of them, I associated that with heaven and angels, because I didn't know anything different. Now I know that's not heaven. It's actually another place of where just other entities live. It was strange because they don't have bodies like we have. They have a sort of an energy body, energy being of some kind. I'm really not sure. So to even say the chapter disembodied incarnation may be a little bit of a misnomer. At the time I wrote it, that's what I understood it to be. So yeah, I see them as sort of like a swirling gas, although it's not gas, it's an energy of some form. And I see a lot of blue and purple in it. Now, I don't know if that's just my mind's way of trying to interpret what they look like, because they don't have eyes to see each other with. It's completely different. They more feel and sense each other because they, have different sensory perception.
Okay.
When you were a child, did you understand what you were perceiving?
No.
And
No,
it was as you got older and experienced life that became clear to you? Was there a trigger event that helped you understand
The more
that?
I started learning about ETs and different civilizations and different ways of existing, that's when I started understanding that these weren't angels or something like that I was looking at, that it was really something else. For a while, I didn't even know it was extraterrestrial. So yeah, it took a lot of research, just understanding other lifetimes and other places where I've been in order to understand that one better.
Must have been difficult as a child to have these memories and visions come to you and not understand them because you're here on Earth
That is amazing.
and you're just not sure,
Mhm.
how that relates to Earth life.
Honestly, a lot of it I just put into the back of my head, and just it seemed like when I would go researching things, I'd be like, that connects with this I've been holding on to. So I would kind of make connections where they could be made. Some connections I made early on that I ended up dismissing because it just wasn't there. I don't know if that's making any sense or not, but
Yeah, I think it's a way that each of us pull things together that are at first confusing to us,
Mhm.
but we have to make some sort of sense of it
Right.
and put it into some sort of outline.
right. Yeah, if we don't have references for certain things, it's hard to understand it or make any kind of sense out of it. So until we have the right reference, then we just kind of, I just hold on to it.
Okay. Did you have parents or family as far as this energy being?
Yes, but it's very different. To have like a child, two or more would get together and contribute energetic material. Like when we get together, we contribute biological material. With them, it's more of an energetic thing. And then when this energy is formed, the collective that's making the energy places it in the upper atmosphere of a planet that's a barren planet from what I can see, and there's no life there. It's just the energy the atmosphere holds the energy together until it gestates or whatever and starts moving and doing its thing on its own, and then it moves wherever it needs to go at that point.
In a sense, it's like a child being born, only it's an energy
Yes.
being born out there.
Yes, and it's my understanding that once a soul incarnates into it, then the energy coalesces and becomes one, and then after life is finished and the entity dies, then the energy dissipates.
Okay.
I'm just going to make the phone announcement again here real
Okay.
quick. Again, this is a live internet streaming video. You can watch it at FVTV stream on YouTube or FVTV11.org on the internet. The call-in number is 360-693-7544, 360-693-7544. And the reason I thought it would be appropriate to have RJ on, because I'm sure there are other people out there very similar to you that have some fear about disclosing these memories. And I'm not one of those persons. I don't have past life memory or those kinds of things. But I would think it would give you a very rich life or experience to draw on to help you function here. I don't, that's my assumption. I don't know.
No, I agree, it does. I think it's really helpful to, I mean, if nothing else, just to have the confidence and having the experience level to make better decisions. So, and like, yeah, as you're saying, you know, there's some things like the energy life. I didn't talk about that for a really long time. So I think it helps for other people that are out there that are having the same kind of experiences to know that they're not alone, that there's other people going through the same kind of thing.
It's a sense of busting the fear within us, that we're afraid to discuss something that isn't normally discussed in
Right.
conversations.
Right.
So it's like, yes, there are other beings, other humans that have had many of these experiences. And so if you have the courage to talk about it and you know, be open about it, then it is a way of busting fear.
Yes.
Okay, another question. Did you live on this energy beam? Did you live on, no, we discussed that. Were there others of that race in other areas of the galaxy or beyond?
There are. I don't know how extensive they are, to be honest with you, but I know that there were other sort of clusters in other solar systems, and we do move amongst each other. It's not super common, but they do interact with each other. But they, you know, each civilization, if you want to call it that, is like its own unique family. Each person is no more revered or considered any less than any other person. Everybody's, I mean, you talk about equality, they got it going on. It's really important for them to want to stay together. So there's not a whole lot of traveling. Usually if they travel to go see another grouping, they end up coming back.
Okay, and did those beings ever visit Earth?
Sometimes, not really a whole lot though. I mean, it's been sort of on a limited basis as far as I understand throughout history.
Okay, have you ever been visited by any of these beings?
Not that I know of, no. Most of what I know of them is memory.
Okay, all right. Now, there was another lifetime that you talked about in here, and we won't discuss that. I think it would be wise for people to buy your book and read it. It's called The Underground World, and that's a very unique lifetime, very unique civilization. So do you have any words about that before, other than we suggest that you buy the book in order to read about it?
Yeah, it's a very unique life. It's, I mean, it was something like, I mean, of all the lives in the book that I've got in there, it's probably, well, maybe the disembodied one is the more unique, but Underground World is definitely something that we don't experience here or haven't experienced here. And even those that have taken to underground dwellings here on Earth, it's a really different thing to know your planet doesn't support life anymore and you are going to live underground for the rest of your life, and so are your children and their children until the planet can support life again. So it changes everything. It changes the entire culture, the society, how you take care of animals, everything.
Wow, it's very interesting, and it is an interesting story. I'll recommend it. Now, let me just ask about a couple of the other lives on Earth.
Sure.
On the English Navy one, in a sense, you sort of became a pirate indirectly.
Right.
But can you sort of, just give us a little information about that situation?
Well, I joined the English Navy, and I ended up deserting because it was a horrific existence for me. And I wouldn't really say I became a pirate. I would say it's more like a merchant marine type thing, but we definitely did illegal things. And there was very little structure to it. I mean, we could hop around and do different things with different grouping and different ships if we wanted to, but I remember having to pay for passage just to join certain groups or certain ships. So, yeah.
And what area did you go to?
I think it's mostly like around in the Atlantic.
In the Caribbean,
Yeah,
possibly?
I kind of see that area quite a bit, yeah.
Okay. All right.
But after a certain amount of time, because I deserted, I was in hiding. So I mainly stayed away from, big.
Yeah, metropolitan
Yes,
areas.
thank you, yes.
Okay, I'm going to throw out the phone
yeah.
number again. This is a live call-in internet show. The number is 360-693-7544. 360, oh, I'm sorry. What number did I just skip? I'm sorry, let me try that again. 360-693-7544. Yes, that's the right phone number. Sorry, folks, I thought I was giving out my business number. Very similar. Sorry, 360-693-7544. Okay.
Okay, and last one, you told me that it's entitled French Nobility, and you were very interested in that lifetime. And I thought maybe you could just give us a little bit of information about that particular lifetime.
I didn't even think I was going to include that one in the book in the beginning because I had such a short life. I was born to a relatively wealthy family. My father had died. I was the man of the house. I decided I was going to go off and get some glory, and I joined the army and ended up getting killed right away. I was like probably 17, I believe. And after I died, I ended up remembering more and more and more of that lifetime. So I ended up with a whole bunch of memories from when I was in like a ghost or spirit form. And that's what I think is the most fascinating about that life, is how much of the memories actually came after I had died.
Okay. I think there are 11 lifetimes in here, but also you have a chapter at the end of the book called Memory Retrieval, and I just want the audience to realize that you give some advice on how to retain memories of past lives in case people haven't, maybe you've had fleeting visions or dreams or something like that, but this chapter may give them more information. So explain the chapter.
They're basically practical exercises on how to reach for your memory and to get various pieces back. Automatic drawing, writing, listening to drumming, various meditative practices and things like that. There's a few things in there about working with another person or a practitioner, and there's also advice on how to work by yourself.
Okay, so Memoirs of My Lives by R.J. Anthony. And remember that fear is busted when we remember living among the races contacting us. In other words, if we look at, it's busting fear when we don't understand that there are other civilizations out there, and that we should not be fearful of them. We need to accept that there are other races. To me, as I said before, I think it's arrogant for us to think that we are the only beings in the whole universe, when you've got trillions of stars, and not to mention all the planets around the stars. So anyway, how can our viewers get a copy of your book?
They can go to rjanthony.com. And right there on the homepage, there's a link to click on to order a copy.
Okay.
rjanthony.com.
rjanthony.com. Thank you, RJ.
Thank you.
Is there anything further you would like to share before we have Tim come up and talk about the horrors of aluminum, and personal care products and foods?
You know, the only thing I can think of is I'd like to say, you know, based on the comment that you made about, you know, I don't think of the ETs as being strangers anymore now that I know so much of how I fit in with them. To me, they're just more family.
I agree. The more I study them, the more accepting I am that they're. I really am curious to get to know them.
How do you study ET races?
Oh, there are books. Oh, there are many
Oh.
books that explain the different races.
Okay.
And
Wendell Stevens put out a really great series of different alien contactees.
Really?
And the different civilizations contacting
I
them.
didn't know
Yes.
that.
UFO contact from, and then there's all different ones. Each one starts with
Oh.
UFO contact from, and then it says the different civilizations.
I thought he was
Very long
only.
series.
I thought he only investigated the Billy Myers case, but he
Bunches.
bunches.
Yes.
And he was in the Air Force.
Yes.
well,
Interesting.
And the UFO Congress, probably festival, they have what they call experiencers. Some people would say that they were abducted, but other people don't see it that way. They see themselves as being experiencers of or contactees having extraterrestrial beings contact them. And so that's there's a difference there of you know that whether you want to call it being abducted or having an experience or being a contactee.
It's all about perception.
Yes, perception.
Yes, perception. Yep, perception.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
RJ.
Thank you. All right, we're going to make a small transition here, folks, and RJ, you can go ahead and go off that way, and they'll get Tim ready to come on up. I just want to add, today or yesterday, I found two very interesting YouTube videos, and I've of course got them loaded up on DivineDominoes.com, the website. That's DivineDominoes.com, and I found it's about a 2-hour expose on psychopaths, my favorite topic, folks. And they first start to explain how it is manifested in a person and how we can learn to recognize those attributes. It is narrated by Peter Coyote, and I was thinking, I don't know if he was talking freely or if he was reading from a script, and if he really understands what he was saying, but it was very fascinating. And then from there they take it into corporate psychopaths. And of course, the human element, about 1 in 100. And as I've reviewed my life, I realized I had probably interaction with one for about 16 years, now that I understand what that behavior was all about. But it takes it into the corporate psychopaths and corporate psychopathic systems, and they said 4 to 6% of corporations are in that psychopathic manifestation. And then at the end of the video is very interesting. They were saying that we are the herd. And if only 4 to 6% of the herd wakes up and starts to recognize these people and systems and simply remove your interaction. Let's see. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Busting Fear. Anybody there? Do I have to put in speaker? You're on the air with Busting Fear. Did I not do this right? Speakerphone. I think. Which one is the speaker part? I can't tell.
Here, let me see.
Yeah. Help me, Adrian. You're the
Sorry,
master at
folks.
this.
Okay. Dang it.
Okay.
Please call
Please
back.
call you back.
Okay.
Or
Okay,
yeah,
so
if you
I-
saw the caller ID, you
so
can call
I-
them back.
I push this button and then I push that button.
No,
So
this
that's-
one and then that one.
Oh, okay.
And then just, turn it upside down. Do you want me to look on caller ID and see if who
Yeah.
it was?
Can we call him back?
You could try.
All
Wanna
right.
Do it?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Okay. All right, so I did try to call them back. So anyway, if 4 to 6% of us in the herd that are not psychopaths begin to wake up to the people and the systems, all we have to do is remove ourselves from them. Don't engage, don't fight, don't try to change them. But once you start to wake up and you start talking to others about it, they will wake up too and start removing their support from those systems. So we are the herd and we have the power. Tim, would you like to come on up? So we have Tim here. He's been talking a few weeks about this research he's been doing on aluminum.
Aluminum, and I'm not a psychotic.
You are a researcher.
Yes, definitely.
So what would you like to share tonight from your research? I know it's vast. Pick some things that you think are very important for us to know.
Well, let's see if I can find my reading glasses. No, I'm kidding, folks. I know right where they are. Any of you folks that are having problems at home, where's my wallet? Oh, shoot, crap, where's my keys? Or, honey, where's my purse? It doesn't make any difference to me if you're in your 20s, 30s, or your 70s and 80s. There's something going on in our unknown culture called aluminum that now the New England Medical Journal, the medical journal in the UK, have contributed this to aluminum. Not aluminum foil, but the products that we consume, the products in your hair. One of my favorite cookies made, can I say Fran's?
I
Fran's
don't know.
I guess I
Well,
can.
you said it now.
One of my favorite cookies is from a bakery locally here that it's peanut butter cookies. I like peanut butter and everything. But I was reading the instructions because 3 years ago, I'm starting to go through some really scary things of not knowing where I laid things down at. I'm pretty regimental. My car keys belong to a certain place, my wallet when I change clothes, and then I can't remember. And so I started studying about memory loss, and that's where I found the New England Medical Journal's article. So I read every label of everything I buy. The cookies had aluminum dioxide.
Do you know there is aluminum in baking powder?
Do you know why?
Aluminum in baking powder, folks?
They say that normally when you make bread, you let it rise for a while, and then you bake it in the oven when it's done. Well, aluminum sulfate, I think it is, actually helps it rise in the oven. The production, they can produce more and more and more bread and buns, cookies, pastries, and so forth. But what in the heck does that have to do with antiperspirant, shampoo, conditioner? I don't even want to kiss a woman anymore because it's in the lipstick.
Well-
I don't want to kiss anybody with lipstick on.
I understand.
Mascara.
I was just looking today, and there are some possibilities that breast cancer is due to the aluminum in deodorants.
Yeah. That has been read also by myself. And I'm not sure if it pertains to men and women both, but it is a scary fact.
There are some men that have been getting
Yes.
breast cancer.
And the FDA.
Whoa, don't-
Oh, there goes this danger.
The sound carries.
The FDA knows this.
Yes.
They're being boycotted right now. I belong to several blogs. I posted this 13-page report all over Facebook, and a lot of my members will share it and share it and share it and share it. So we have hundreds and hundreds of people clicking likes and leaving comments. Thank you so much.
That's the reason to be on Facebook.
Yes. So what I've done is don't ever go grocery shopping with me, guys and gals. I read labels.
There is, years ago, I learned when I first started looking at labels ourselves, is that there is no regulation, law, rules, whatever, by the FDA to restrict toxic ingredients in our personal care products.
That's why a lot of countries won't buy certain foods from us. It's in their food. Shampoo, fingernail polish, body lotions.
Your shower products, your
Everything you do is with aluminum. When I started reading all these labels, anything that has any aluminum byproduct whatsoever is out of my diet. In fact, if you go online, it's called "Take the Aluminum Out of My Diet."
Oh, well, that's
You
simple.
can research that on the
Wow.
internet. You'll see all 13 pages, and it lists 150 products, categories that has aluminum byproducts in it.
And if you buy baked goods like cake,
Yep. Well, modified
It's
food
used-
starch.
baking powder is used in. You can mix vinegar and
Applesauce?
baking soda
Yes.
and get that rising effect like you would with baking
And all
powder.
that is sodium bicarbonate.
Yes,
So, and that's healthy.
yes.
Even in your swimming pool, you can put sodium bicarbonate to raise the pH to an alkali level.
Just one quick shout out again, and I'm going to get this right for the phone number to call in
Yeah, I'm
if
going
you
to call you business.
if you would like to talk to Tim or myself or Dixie. 360-693-7544. 360-693-7544. And if the previous caller would like to call back, I dialed you back and it went to voicemail. So we're here. So
Are you ladies going to go to McMinnville?
Yes.
Let me know. Before you go, let me know. I want to go.
okay.
Okay.
Sorry to get off the subject.
No, that's all right.
Did I
It's all
forget
right.
something? I'm kidding. But I feel so good, because I don't sit on my edge of my bed and try to figure out where something is. I could look at where it was, and minutes later, I'm walking into the room or something, and all of a sudden I see my glasses, and I'm thinking, did I move those? But taking the stuff out of my shampoo, I don't use a conditioner, obviously, out of chapstick, all these things. It's just comforting to know I'm becoming Tim with 2 M's once again.
Do you know about using coconut oil to reverse Alzheimer's?
I use coconut oil with cannabinoids
Okay.
and what's that herb in there? Acronia, something like that?
Arnica?
Arnica.
Arnica.
Because it's real hard some nights to sleep with neuropathy in my legs.
Okay.
And so I put this stuff, my cousin makes it, put this on my ankles and my legs, and I'm not having cramps anymore. I'm not having, someone's got their knuckle in the arch of my foot. Well, for being flat-footed, I can understand, but I don't have these problems anymore. And I'm starting to feel a lot younger. And I'm
Is
single.
that with arnica, did you call it?
Yes, it's coconut oil with cannabinoids, which comes from the hemp seed, the hemp plant,
Okay,
the marijuana plant.
right.
That you don't smoke it, you rub it.
Okay.
And it's amazing and it's instantaneous. I have a friend, he's a dog trainer that has a birth disorder with his blood vessels in his legs. And Chet's using it now. And what a difference. It's making in his walking, no more swellings like he was having. He was wearing these, what are these things, copper socks?
Yes, the
Yeah.
compression.
The compression socks. And he's not using those nearly as often because he's on his feet all day down at the pet shop where he trains dogs. It's amazing.
Now, what, besides finding out where the aluminum was in these products that you were using, besides eliminating them, did you move ahead to do something to continue to remove the aluminum, to restore your memory?
My cookies don't have aluminum anymore.
Okay.
In fact, something that's very disturbing, guys and gals, if you drink aluminum canned beer, soda pop, the moment you crack that seal, there's an explosion inside. The anodization process inside of the can, which protects it from eating the can. Because if
Okay.
you take a rusty nail with a Coca-Cola,
Yes.
in a day or so, that'll be just nothing left of that.
Yes.
There's an explosion inside, and what you're consuming with all the garbage that's in it already, now you're consuming a liquid form of that aluminum dioxide that spreads fast because now you've not taken it just on your hair and stuff. Now you've taken it down your esophagus, You've taken it into your intestines, your stomach, your bowels, everywhere.
Is that for all carbonated drinks or just
Anything
beer?
in aluminum cans.
Anything in an aluminum can.
And I don't even like drinking from plastic, but
Yeah.
that's horrifying, and they know this. It's not a secret with the FDA. We need 175,000, I keep doing that, don't I? We need 175,000 signatures that forces the FDA and an investigative group with the FDA. That's how much people it takes. I don't have that many members on Facebook, only 800.
Wouldn't it be nice if they did just the thing that's right just because it's the right thing to do?
We live in the greatest country on the earth, but the answer is no.
Yeah.
Something like Move On, or there are some organizations on the internet that collect names on petitions. I don't know if you can.
I don't know.
Do something like
I haven't
that.
been able to find one. I know I signed a petition, We Are the People, several years ago, and that went to the White House. But I haven't found a site that's dedicated to that.
What product were you the most surprised to find that aluminum was in?
Well, besides my cookies.
Besides your cookies.
Bread,
Bread.
probably.
Bread.
Yeah, because that's breakfast, lunch, dinner, one form or the other. Probably bread.
Is there a way that you have discovered to remove the aluminum buildup in the body?
Well,
Besides the coconut oil?
no, the only thing I try to do, and I do it daily, 3 times a day, is milk thistle.
Milk thistle, okay.
It's a perfect detoxification for your liver. But I don't know, maybe that's part of the success of being able to remember so much again.
Oh, I do want to clarify, I didn't mean that coconut oil takes aluminum out of the body. It has been used to help people with Alzheimer's restore their memory. Whatever process that is, I don't know.
Well, my feet knows where they go. I've
Your
never
feet.
forgot where they are. So that's interesting to hear that, though. I'll have
Yes,
to do some research on it.
yes, yes.
You also told me about red rice, a
Yeast.
supplement, or
Red rice yeast. If
Yeast.
you've got a cholesterol problem, I met a pharmacist at the Kmart on Andresen before they closed. I thought he was about 90. He was just really a nice, tall, old gentleman. And I said, I got to get away from this statin. The doctors, since they took my heart out and rebuilt the arteries and everything, they told me I'm going to be on this for life. He says, young man, not like that. Yeah, man, come around the corner. So he comes out of that area where there's a wall between us, the pharmacy, and he said, you need to start using it. I said, pardon me? He says, I can't tell you though, I'm not allowed to. But he told me about red rice yeast. And I do that to this day. I take about 2,000 units in the morning, 2,000 or 3,000 units at night, because I've always had this belief that if you take certain types of supplements on a full stomach at night, they linger through the body, they're in the body longer, you're not getting taking a whiz, or you're not defecating, I guess is a better word than the other one. So it eases with more leisure through the body.
okay.
And I had my cholesterol reading again on Monday, which I do every 3 to 6 months, and it's perfect. Triglycerides, everything is perfect.
Where do you find this red rice yeast?
Well,
I have some that I ordered in capsules.
it has to be in capsules, and they're kind of a reddish, a dark reddish color capsule. And I use kosher capsules, making sure that's kosher, because otherwise the oh boy, am I forgetting things? No, folks. The gelatin actually comes from pigs. And that's totally against my beliefs, but I go to Walgreens because generally I can get it for $31.99, 500, 1,000 units, 500 capsules. But I wait until they have 2 for 1. That's when I get that, my vitamin D3s and all the things that I take. It has to go on sale because I'm too cheap to pay for 1 bottle when I can get 2 one day.
Okay, and so it's how many pills do you take in the morning? Capsules?
2 capsules.
Two
In the morning,
capsules
and 2 or 3
at night.
at night.
Okay.
I like that little extra just so it goes
Okay.
through the system longer.
Okay. And a pharmacist told you covertly.
That
Isn't that sad that they can't tell you?
he couldn't
the
tell
truth?
me in the window at all. And I kind of wondered, is that why they closed that Kmart down?
Well, probably not.
I hope
Kmart's
not.
had some other issues, but yes, it's very sad. I know when I take my pet to the vet, I don't ask, I say, I want standard process. Standard process is a human and pet nutritional supplement, and I'll ask for the standard process over the drugs that they want to give my pet. And, but you have to ask for it. They won't
Yeah, you
volunteer
have to ask.
that they have that available.
Do you use a shampoo to keep the luster of the coating?
No, I use a
This
product.
This is a dog product.
Oh, no,
Good.
no, no.
Because that is loaded with one form of aluminum or the other. So if
yeah.
your dog is acting weird, that he doesn't understand you or he doesn't know where he sleeps, that might be happening.
Okay, no, my dog doesn't act weird. He's just fine, and everybody loves him. So, okay.
Pretty scary stuff.
So, is there anything further you would like to say before we start
Well,
closing out the show tonight?
I've got 13 pages here. You gotta read the labels. Even toothpaste. There's aluminum in toothpaste.
What's your Facebook connection?
I have a Facebook. I've got 2 Facebooks. One
Okay.
is for the book, and one is for me and my friends, my ohana, my family.
How could people get this information? Is what
Just
I'm.
go
yes.
to, I don't like Google, go to MSN search and just type in, take the aluminum out of my diet.
Okay.
It will have all 150 categories of garbage in
Okay.
big, bold print, so you can't miss it. It'll explain things better for you, and it's scary.
Take the aluminum out of my diet.
Out of my diet.
Out of my diet.
Yeah, that
Just
was
do
the
a
first.
search on
just do the
Google
search on
or
that.
MSN, whatever.
Yep. And it
Take
brings up
the-
this whole
okay.
13 pages,
Okay.
and I mean this. It's a long list. It goes page after page after page, and we consume this.
Yes. Yes. Yes, we do.
It's scary.
Very scary.
So before you pop an aluminum can, think about it twice.
Think about it. You want
Yeah.
liquid aluminum going down,
and that bothered me in a way because as a kid I picked strawberries,
yes.
and there's a spring in the strawberry patch with a ladle, aluminum. I never knew about that when I was
Yeah.
a little boy.
Yep.
So maybe
Yep.
that started with me. What was I talking about? No, I'm sorry. It must have
Picking
started-
strawberries and drinking out of
Oh,
the.
strawberries. Yeah, I used to have a ready share when I got
Yeah.
it. But, maybe it started with me back then, but it's in baby food. It's in Similac. It's in Infamil. They've got you from birth to death
Wow.
with this poison.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm angry about it.
Yes. And how can that not be psychopathic? They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, what did I say last time I was on the show, what FDA really stands for?
Go ahead.
It stands for Falsification Documents Association. They
Ah.
falsify,
Falsification Documents Association.
they lie about everything that they do. Same with the pharmakeia. And you would think after having my heart rebuilt that I'd be on a lot of meds. I was 13. I'm down with 2 because it's supplements that I take that I don't have to take the medications that's going to kill me one way or another.
So you just didn't settle for what the doctor.
No, I
You
was-
did research to figure out what you could
Yeah.
be.
I
All
was
right.
lucky. The cardiologist, Dr. Cooper, that I had, understood nutrition. And he had told me, give you a good example, I was on Lysic because my legs and ankles are swollen so bad
Oh.
that this is supposed to be a lifetime medication. But I found through research about a tablet. Basically, it's compressed salad, asparagus, parsley, and things like that. And it has 10 milligrams of potassium, which was one of my prescriptions. So I showed this to Dr. Cooper, told him that I quit taking it, the medication, And he reads down this list. He says, everything in here is in a salad. And it has your potassium. He said, I want to see your ankles. He says, stay on that. Don't refill that prescription.
What was the name of the?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's made by Sundowner. And a simple name, water pill.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Water
a
pill.
water pill.
by Sundowner.
By Sundowner. Walmart, you get a 60-day supply for what, $2.95?
Wow.
$2.95?
Did I stutter?
No, I'm just saying
I thought maybe
$2.95
I
for
thought
a
maybe I
month's worth.
forgot that.
No, I'm just saying, well, that's pretty inexpensive.
$2.95.
How much did your prescription cost?
Well, geez, what was it, 20-something bucks just for that one? My insurance canceled me during the operation, so I had to pay cash for everything.
Okay. Wow, this is very disheartening and enlightening all at the
Yes,
same time,
yes.
isn't it?
Thank God for the computers.
Yes.
Yes. So you do a lot of research then?
I research for companies, private companies,
Oh, okay. All right.
and I've done that. I've done that for a good 20 years.
Okay.
They actually pay me to study for them.
Well, gee, that's so sad.
You know, poor bankers.
For makers. Okay, well, I just getting the message that we're going to go to commercial here, and I think we could probably say that can be the end of the show. Watch the commercial and support the people that are supporting us. Remember, this is a volunteer organization, and no one's getting paid to come down here and do this.
You almost slipped, didn't you?
I almost did.
Watch
Here we
what you're
go.
drinking.
Hi, and welcome to Brood, the local cafe and pub. Offering you a variety of services, we have beer, coffee, wine, and food. You can find us on Facebook at Brood360 and online at broodcafepub.com.
Thinking at least a little bit.
I thought we were ending the show. We're still here. Oh, sorry. We're still here. Let's see. So let's see. Would you like to share, Dixie? You've always got something on board coming up. Where are you going? You're going on a cruise.
I'm going on a cruise this next week. I mean tomorrow. Flying to LA and going on a cruise to Mexico. And I will be back the following Saturday. I will be having a lot of fun for the next week.
What part of Mexico?
The Puerto Vallarta,
Vallarta, beautiful.
and I'm trying to remember the one down at the end of Baja. I can't remember the name. This is terrible. But anyway, I'll know when I come back what the name of it is.
Are you going with a friend or a family?
I'm going with two young women, 21 and 24.
You keep smacking.
And we are going on technically a singles cruise, but there will be married couples. It's just that they have a special person that organizes singles events.
Okay.
And so I thought that was a real appropriate for a 21 and 24-year-old.
Are you available?
Actually, I am single. But anyway, so yes, we're going to have a great time. Well, anyway, I talked to Malie. It's Malie and Jasmine, and I talked to Malie today, and they were just having so much fun getting to LA in order to go on the cruise ship. So,
I've been on a cruise one time. We went to the Bahamas, and it was nice. You could eat 11 times a day.
I know.
You could schedule it.
And I didn't lose the 10 pounds I meant to before the cruise.
Yeah, gee, I tell you, and the food was absolutely fabulous. And every day we had a different thing. One night was French, one night was Italian, one night was American. Because, of course, there are people, not Americans, on the cruise. And so,
they want a hamburger.
yeah, they want a hamburger. That's right. And then everybody dressed up in these outfits to portray the culture and the food that they served. And it was,
That's a big suitcase.
it is a big suitcase.
Do they charge you for that?
But then, no, that's the crew. The crew, the people that serve, not us.
Oh, I'd rather be the other way around. That could be fun.
Well,
I'm sorry, repeat that. Oh, yeah.
5 minutes.
Okay.
I just want to tell you that I also have gone on 2 other cruises of the Caribbean and the Mediterranean. And the Mediterranean, we arrived in Venice and went down to Greece and Turkey and back to Italy and to anyways, southern France, and then to Spain. It was a wonderful cruise. So yes, I am addicted to cruises.
The boat, that's okay. The ships are not made out of aluminum.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank you.
I've heard that the Alaska cruise is outstanding. That's something that Mike and I eventually want to do, is the Alaska cruise. And I've seen images of people doing the cruise, and they seem like they're having a really good time. Have you traveled to any exotic places on the planet?
Yes. Sometime I was a private contractor
Okay,
in negotiations.
okay.
So my team and I have been to many, many places. I think in Mexico, my favorite place was Puerto Vallarta, San Juan on Puerto Rico, Santiago down to San Paulo, all those areas. I was very happy one day. My ancestors, one side of my family comes from England, the Wilkes family from Grandma, and I stood by John Wilkes on Thames River, and he was married to Queen Anne's daughter Polly in the 1500s, and a Parliament man. I've read his book. I'm so glad nothing like that man was, but I've been to some very sweet-looking places.
I've been to Japan.
Have you? Oh,
Oh, beautiful country.
3 minutes.
Sorry.
that is-
Beautiful, beautiful, and the people are so
They are
so
sweet people.
sweet.
yeah.
Yeah, we actually hosted a Japanese gal who went to Clark College here for 2 years. I don't think they have what do you call a community college. I don't think they have those kinds of schools in Japan. You know, it's been a few years, but it was just so wonderful to interact with her. And then we traveled there in 1996 at Christmas time. And so we flew the day after Christmas, and we arrived in Osaka, and it was cold.
Yeah.
And actually, this is very unusual. The trains weren't running that day, and so her brother had to come meet us because he was going into school in Osaka, and
That's a
we
beautiful place.
we had to haul our luggage up the stairs and down the stairs. They don't have escalators or elevators, folks, and he had to take us to a place where we. Mr. I forget his name. Anyway, his father had to pick us up, but it was quite a distance to get. And they lived in Otsu, which is north of Kyoto, Oh my gosh, Kyoto. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful.
And lots of good food.
Lots.
Healthy
Yes.
food.
Yes, healthy, good food.
Did you have any sashimi?
No, I can't do that.
Why not?
I don't like raw fish.
Yeah.
I've tried it once and that was plenty. No more. No more. I do want to go to China.
Mhm.
I've always wanted to go to China because if there's such thing as past lives, I think I've had a lot of Asian past lives. I mean, my house is filled with Asian artifacts because I feel naked if I don't have Asian art, vast vases, screens in my home. So I have a lot of Asian decor in my house, and so I've always wanted to go to China. So
Be careful there. One of
I'm
the-
not saying I'm going.
One of the delicacies is cat.
Is what?
Cat.
Oh,
kitty,
yes.
Kitty, kitty.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I say I want to go there. I don't know that I am going there, but it's something I've always
But,
wanted to do. Probably because I had a good
You need to
good
go.
past life there. Who
You
knows?
need to go there. It's a lot of good things there.
Okay. Well, it's time to really sign off this time, folks. And he's given me the countdown, and that will be in just a couple of seconds. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for tuning. There. It is penny today. Goes in my pocket.
Yeah, I
Any more money?